Zur is a character introduced in Dragons Rising Season 2 Part 2, so there will be spoilers ahead for anyone who hasn't watched it yet. Zur is from a group of people that we don't know much about, called the Devonians. He's also the master of reflex, and since the end of the second season, I've been wondering if he'll be coming back to the show as a possible minor character. There are a few reasons I think the writers may have set him up to be more important than he seems. Zur makes his introductory appearance at the Tournament of Sources' first night banquet, and this is when Lloyd expresses his interest in seeing a Devonian for the first time. Devonians are unfamiliar to both the ninja and the audience, so when he turns away without responding, it seems like a kind of cold action. However, this is a misconception that is expanded upon in later episodes, which is something I'll talk about in a bit. In the first round of the tournament, Zur is Zane's opponent. What irritated me about this match was the quick and early elimination of Zane to someone who seemed like a random character, especially when it feels like he's already underutilized in Dragons Rising. But what I hadn't considered when watching that match was Zur's brief second appearance before the tournament started. The night prior to the beginning of the tournament, Lloyd wakes up to an uninvited guest in the ninja team's quarters, which turns out to be an attacker bot. We later learn that Roz was the one who sent a bot to the ninja, and one to himself, to make him look innocent. Roz did this to try to eliminate his strongest competition. However, there was one more attacker bot that was sent out that night, and that one was targeted at Zur. He was the only competitor outside of the ninja to receive an unexpected visit in this manner, which implies that the only other person Roz saw as a major threat in the tournament was him. This context reveals why Zane met his match so early on. Another reason, though, is Zane's ice melted faster than usual, which is implied to be a result of what was later revealed to be Blecht cheating. And Zur was the reason that the ninja were able to expose him. Wildfire was able to get a hold of Blecht's ledger by distracting him and switching it with a menu, but the problem with this was that the notes inside were written in a language she couldn't understand. As the only Devonian in the tournament, Zur was able to identify it as an ancient form of his language. He was able to translate the ledger, which was where evidence of the games being rigged was being kept. When offering to help Wildfire, Zur touches on the assumptions that people make about Devonians. To some, they look mean or scary, when in actuality they are, as Zur says, renowned for their kindness. They just happen to be shy, which explains his earlier refusal to talk to Lloyd. A fact that is only mentioned very briefly during the tournament is that Zur is a direct descendant of the Devonian king, and this probably means that he's an important figure among the Devonians themselves. With him also being an ally to the ninja, this information does well to set him up to be a character that we might see in future seasons. Even if we don't end up seeing Zur specifically, the formal introduction of Devonians to the series could mean that we'll see more of them as the show goes on. It could even be an interesting concept for story-related events to take place where the Devonians are from. I would like to see Zur be a more prominent character, and I think Reflex is a really cool elemental power that could bring a lot of interesting attributes to the table. Dragons Rising did an amazing job of introducing Zur and the Devonians as a whole. It adds to the various potential stories that could be further explored going forward. Out of the numerous characters that are new from Dragons Rising who took part in the tournament, Zur seems to be the most overlooked. At least from what I've seen, people understandably focus more on characters like Frack, Noct, or Geo. Zur is a really cool character in my opinion, and I like that he has traits that reflect the ninja's own, like kindness and strength, so I'd welcome the idea of him getting more screen time. But that is all for now.